everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kay and I am Stitchy Fifer here on YouTube and over on Instagram. Very warm welcome to you if this is your first visit to my channel. I hope that you find something that you like, and that if you do, that you come back and visit with me again. If you do like what you see on the video, please click on the likes button and the subscribe button, and select all on the notification bell so you get advised whenever I upload new content. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and spend some more time with me. Your support, as always, is appreciated. Please also, if you like the video, like it and leave a comment. Tell me what you're working on while we're stitching today. It doesn't have to be a cross-stitch project. It could be a quilting project, or you could be knitting or sewing or doing embroidery, colouring in. Could even have something on in the background while you're doing your housework or whatever. But I like to know what people are working on while I'm stitching. As I said, this is McGonagall's library. I've done 1,698 stitches so far on it. 640,000. It's 800 by 800 stitches. Works. I can't work out what that is in inches on top of my head. I really need to write this stuff down. I started up in the top left corner, and I'm doing diagonal blocks, parking in the block below. As always, when I'm parking, if there's a stitch in the box above where I would be parking, I'm completing that stitch. So that's why it looks a bit. It's not as distinct blocks, you know. I think that's the closest to how my end would be if you take those two stitches off there. This is how I started doing my full coverage projects, and I kind of got out of that and went on to the diagonals, the straight diagonal, like the diagonal columns. And I was working on a project. I can't remember which one it was. I thought, this is just not working. So I thought, right, I'm going to go back onto the blocks, and it worked better. It wasn't perfect because of the direction that I was because of the direction the colours were going in, but it was better, and I wasn't getting as frustrated starting and ending threads as I was. And I've also tried doing the complete rows across, like within my stitching area. My stitching area is usually 150 by 150, so I was trying to do the rows going across in two rows, and I thought, this is going to take, I'm going to be bored of doing this without any variety, because I was in confetti, and it was confetti every block, whereas when I switched to the diagonals, there was some boxes, some squares had less confetti, so it was easier for me. When I say easier for me, it was easier on my brain. And that's why when I saw the way that the colours went on this, I thought, I'm going to either do colour flow like Gemma's or do the diagonal blocks. And I just started doing the blocks, and I'm not seeing, here I would expect to have seen tension lines. I'm not seeing that, so I'm happy with how it's working. A wee bit there, but I think it's just because there's a wee bit more confetti, and hopefully those will come out over time. Feeling that I'm gonna try something else if I'm not happy. But apart from that, I'm happy with how it's stitching up. I really am. This is eating into my stitching time, sitting here blethering on, so I'm going to set my timer for an hour. So we're going to have an hour of stitching time. I'm hoping I should get that done. Hopefully get this block at least partially, maybe fully done, and maybe get started on this block down here. So I'm going to zoom you in so you can actually see my stitching. Zoom in, I'm in the right place. I'm in the right place. I'm too far over. finger when I want to be stitching. There we go. I'm a wee bit out of practice with zooming in and zooming out, so I usually have it all set up before I start filming. Let's see how we get the timer on. Go. So it's an hour's worth of stitching. And starting now. And I think this might be more of an ASMR one. There might be a little bit of chatting, but just usually probably as things jump into my head. Charlie's in the huff with me this morning because he got a row. So he's in the huff with me this morning. Aren't you? Aimee's back to me. He got a row because he was doing something he shouldn't have been doing. And he doesn't like getting a row. But what little boy does, huh? And Oscar's lying up on his perch on the cat tree looking out the window. What, is that somebody coming to the door, is it, Charlie? It would be. No? Somebody's going past and going in next door's garden, are they? That'll be the post. I think Charlie wants to be a postman. Either that or a gardener, because whenever I'm getting my grass cut, he sits and watches the man cutting my grass. And you know the sit-on moors that the council gardeners use? Why is that not? Because I forgot to mark it. Oh. Eventually, yeah, you know the sit-on moors that the council gardeners use. You know, I don't know what you call. Is it a sit-on moor? The big, usually green or well, they used to be green. Them. Whenever one of them goes past cutting the verge on the other side of the road, Oscar, no matter where he is in the house, comes running through to sit in the living room window and watch it. And he watches it going down the street. It usually goes down the street, up the street, and then back down again. So he sits and he watches it. And I'm like, you know what? He just reminds me of a little boy running through when you hear a tractor or something going past, and they just come running through from wherever they are to look out the window and watch it going past. And whenever that happens, I just sit and have a little laugh to myself, and I think, yeah, I didn't have boys as children. I only had a daughter. But I could just imagine it if I'd had a little boys whenever the guys were cutting the grass or whatever, come running through to sit and watch it, so excited watching them. But yeah. Do your animals get up to anything interesting, anything fun, silly things? I wish my cats would do some of the things that the cats in the reels or the compilation reels of cats doing silly things, funny things like jumping up in the air, and I wish mine would do that. I wish I had my camera ready when they did. Now when I'm parking, as I said, I'm parking the box below, but if there's not any stitches of that colour in that block, I'll look to the block to the right. And again, I'm going to complete this stitch because the stitch above is completed, and again there it's completed above, so do that one, and then we're back along. Oh, put the needle through the fabric, not through me. That one there. And then the next place is there, but there's nothing about it, so I park it there. And then all my threads that go off are going off this direction. I've got them hooked behind the nut on my nudge. I've flipped my nudge. I used to have it so that the nut was at the bottom, but now I've switched it so that the nut's at the top, you know, screw nut. And I just use it just to hook my threads behind, and it seems to be working well. This lot should be over that way. So these are not, oh no, you're not, you're on that, along that way. There we go. Start with the next colour. See where this one's going. I got hit with a bout of insomnia on Wednesday, so I started another project as well. Well, it was actually Thursday morning. By the time I picked up needle and thread, so it was something like 1:30 in the morning, and I couldn't sleep. And I was going to work on this, and I thought, no, I don't really want to work on this. I was sort of scrolling through. I'd been given a link to Zana Cross-Stitch, to her website, for freebies. So I went and I had downloaded some of the freebies that she had. I think I downloaded 4 or 5 of the ones that were there that I liked. So I thought, no, I'm going to give her. If I'm going to try a new designer, I would prefer to try a freebie first, in case I don't like their chatting. So I thought, right, I'll go and have a look at these freebies and see what I think of them. So I was sort of looking at them, and it was the colours drew me to this one, and I started it on Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and where am I? Oh, where is it? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, I'll zoom you out. Hold on. Look at the colours. Isn't that gorgeous? Those yellow, those blues and purples, and yeah. It's called 941. It's one of our freebies. It's blue. It's all blue flowers. On a sort of a dark grey, blue, purple background. So I started on that as well. So that was my spontaneous start. I don't often do 2 starts in 1 month. I don't plan them that way. I usually, so if I have more than 1 start, the second start is normally a spontaneous one. So that's my spontaneous new start for October. I'm going to try not to start anything else before the 30th of November, which is when I do my St Andrew's Day. This is when I'll be doing my St Andrew's Day one, which is Celtic Thistle. I had to think there for a second. Oh, did I forget that one down? No, wait a minute. Okay, I know what I'm doing now. I'm getting myself in a muddle. Right, that one's completed, so it's right. Yeah. So yeah. When I'm still online, it's something stupid like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. That's when you worry. Could have been worse. I could have been way off on Heaven and Earth Design, breaking my no-buy ban. I've got a self-imposed no-buy, but I've got a self-imposed buy ban on new patterns. But because the ones I downloaded were free, I also downloaded the freebie from the HAED group as well, the Halloween freebie. So I, you know, because they were free, they don't count. I kind of broke the bank in August, so I've got to try and make sure that I can budget up for all the new ones coming out in the new year. So and I've already got a couple more added to my wish list on HAED. So there's a new one, Lap of Luxury, which is a cat, and it reminds me of Oscar. So I've got a couple of charts that remind me of Charlie. I'm going to be starting at least one of them, hopefully in the new year. But I didn't have any of Oscar because he's got a very specific face, and to try and find one that actually looks like him is really difficult. This one, it's like him colour wise, but it's not like him. The shape of the face is different, but it's enough of a resemblance that I'm okay with it. So it's called Lap of Luxury. I think it's a Dragon Muse one. So that's in my wish list. I've also added so there are 3 poppies or trio of poppies. I can't remember the artist. Is it Collins? Is it Peggy Collins? It's kind of it's a max colour version of added to my wish list. It's kind of, remember when you were at school and you were doing, like, if you were doing stained glass windows, you would do like the tissue paper and you get it wet, sort of like on glass or on like clear plastic or something to give that effect of the, you know, the opaqueness. So that one, that it's kind of that sort of similar sort of. Oh right, okay. Undo one. I got carried away with my stitches. I was thinking, what have I done? So kind of that sort of effect. It's kind of like watercolour type. Yeah, watercolour would probably better to it. It's kind of all pinks and yeah, it's really, really nice. So I've got that in my wish list. So keep your eyes open for those starting. Of course, I've got hundreds of freebies from Artecy, and I've got quite a few from the freebies that were on the HAED site before they revamped the site and removed them. You know, if you see a freebie, the rule of thumb is if you see a freebie and you like it, grab it, because you don't know whether it's going to be there tomorrow or even a few hours later, because, you know, there's no telling. You know, the designers might remove them, so that's why I grabbed the ones from Zana cross stitch when I did, because I liked them, and I thought, right, okay, rather than me looking for something later on and it not being there, you know, I thought, right, I'll grab them when I see them. There's a couple that, you know, that are absolutely beautiful. They're stunning. I love her artwork, actually. So I think I'm going to be going back and buying a couple of charts at the beginning of the year. got some beautiful charts. I was scared to go scrolling on her site proper. But I have joined the Facebook group, so I will see the new charts as they're being released. Also, Pink Lily released her free charts for, I think it was October or was it September. So I've got those as well. Got to start one of her charts yet. I've not started one. I keep adding to them with the freebies, but through our Facebook group. But I've not actually started on one of her charts yet. So that might be a. There's no might about it. It will be sometime in the new year. Pink Lily's chart getting started, because quite a few of hers that I've got now that I quite like. Plus, quite a few on her website. The last release that she done, last lot of releases that she did, quite a few that I liked, including the gnome ones, which I never thought I would stitch gnomes, but I'm quite drawn to them. To the ones that she's got, anyway. Rule of thumb for me is the less cartoon-like it is, the more likely I am to look at it as with a view to stitching it. I don't like cartoony type things, so I'm sorry. I know you all like. I know quite a lot of you like Jasmine Beckett Griffiths and like the Maui Princess and things like that. I have got Maui Princess because it was a freebie, but I don't think I'll stitch it. Because it's not my cup of tea. Right, now finishing my stitches. When I come up to start my thread, start my top leg as normal, I go back down the same hole to make a loop. And then I come up where I would normally go down. I come up it and through the loop, and I go down the hole that I would normally start the loop on. This is starting to get confusing. To close to go through the loop, and then I go through it and pull it to the back. I'll wait and see if I've got another thread to finish, and I'll try it again. Try and explain it again without too many words. Basically, down the same hole, up the top left, like up through the hole you would normally go down, then back down the hole you would normally come up to start to where you're. Oh goodness sakes, that's even worse. Right. Yeah, okay, why use 20 words when one would do? Let's find the right one though. Anyone else have days like that? Or days when you've swallowed the thesaurus? Finish this one, right? So I've come up as if I was going to finish my leg, because I would normally finish top I go bottom left to top right. Bottom right to top left rather. So come up bottom left right, go back down bottom right to make a loop. Come up top left, through the loop, close it, pull it tight to close it, go back down bottom right, and then to make sure it stays put, I do my wee pin stitch through the threads. I was just doing the pin stitch to finish, but a couple of them come out. So I thought, no, I need something else. And then I was watching, I think it was Cross Stitch and Chill. She was doing a stitch with me, and she was finishing her threads with the loop finish. And I thought, hey, I'm going to give that a try. So give that a try. Tried it on its own without the pin stitch, and it was okay, but it did work its way loose. And I thought, right, what we'll do is we'll try it with the pin stitch. And I was doing half a pin stitch. I thought, it needs a wee bit more. I'd rather secure it twice and it not come up, so it doesn't come apart. So, I tried it and it was like, yeah, it's so much easier. And it's even easier on 18 count. Because I'm not fighting with fabric to pierce it. Right. I've got one there. What colour's that? 3799. Pardon me. And how do I start? You ask. Well, down the top left, up the top right, back down top right to make a loop, up bottom left. So I'm starting my stitch now as I would normally start it, through the loop, tighten to close the loop, through the top right, so I'm finishing my first leg of my stitch and taking that loop to the back, so at the bottom right through the top left, and then I just carry on stitching until I get to the end. Alright, okay, I've got 2 to go. 1, 2. I thought this was going to be an ASMR video, but it's only the odd bit of chat, but I'm getting quite a bit of chatting done. I don't know which type of videos you prefer. 1, down, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know, because if I do ASMR videos, they don't get as many views. So I do a chatty video, and then that doesn't get as many views. So I don't know. Let's start the next block. You come here because you're not over there. Wait a minute. And that's Charlie telling her when he's been to the toilet. But you're letting, is that you announcing to everyone? Excuse me, what are you doing? What you doing? You talking to me now? Come on then. Come on then. Tell me what is it? What's up? Are you sorry for being a bad boy? Are you? Yes, I love you too. No, you can't do that because I'm filming, darling. And you kind of sitting where I need to rest my elbow so I can stretch. So you're interfering with production. You're interfering with production. Charlie, do you want to stop knocking my light? Charlie. Hey, stop it. Come on, move your bum. Wait, where are you going then? Where do you want to go? Right, come on. Let me get stitching. Come on, move yourself. Move yourself. Move yourself. Come on. Right, you can lie behind me. Come on, lie along the back of my chair. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here. No, not that way. You can't go that way. Can't go that way, you silly totty. Alright? Where are you going? What is it? What do you see? You're looking for Oscar? I don't know where he is. Is Oscar away to eat his breakfast? Or did you beat him to it? Or is he sitting looking out the back window watching the birds in the tree? Eh? Is he watching the birdies in the tree? And you're in the half now because you can't get up beside him because there's no room. Okay, Oscar must be sitting on the back windowsill. He sits up there, there's a tree in the back garden and he watches the, well, not in my back garden, it's my neighbours across the back. And he'll sit there and he'll watch the birds and he'll sit there for hours. Just watching the birds. And then he comes through and he'll sometimes watch the birds in the trees across the road from me. And Charlie gets huffy because if Oscar's up in the windowsill in the kitchen, there's not enough space for him to get in because of where my drainer is. And it's one of these two-tier drainers, so it's not like he can fit. Oscar can get up because he's skinny and he's smaller. But Charlie can't get up. In fact, Oscar sometimes sits on top of, I've got a tub for the dry food, because Charlie likes his dry food in the morning. And Oscar is wet food all the time. So normally they get a scoop of dry food in the morning. Work out the scoop that I use is the right amount for half a day's feeding, and then they get the rest as their wet food at night, plus treats. I don't count their treats as their food, so as part of their food, so they get a wee handful each of Dreamies at supper time. And Charlie's lying on the floor being cute. So I get that at supper time. I don't like feeding them just once and that and be done. I like to let them, because although their food is out, like the dry food's out all day, so they can pick at it as they want. It's mainly Charlie that eats that, and he'll eat it. He'll eat a wee drop first thing in the morning when I first put it down. Then I'll sort of go back to it around about lunchtime. And then a wee while later in the afternoon he'll go back and he'll finish the rest. He'll have the rest of it, unless Oscar's been in there and finished it because he's finished his wet food. And it's at dinner time they get a pouch each, and because the dry food's still out, sometimes Charlie will go back to that as opposed to the wet food. or he'll eat some of the wet food, but then he'll go back to the dry food later on. I mean, Charlie would probably be okay with just getting the dry food all the time. Oscar, not so much. I think he would starve before he would eat that and nothing else. Because he likes his wet food, he likes his meat, and with the jelly, it has to be the jelly. The gravy, I don't like the stuff that comes in this pouch with the gravy, because you can never get all the gravy out, and I feel that they're not getting the full meal. Whereas the jelly comes out a lot easier and a lot cleaner out the pouch. And quite a lot of the time they'll eat the jelly and go back later on for the meat. Plus I've got a water fountain for them, which I have to keep topping up every week. Well, it's maybe 2 or 3 times a week that I top it up. And it's got a filter, it's got a dual filter in it, so it's filtering the water for them. I can't remember how much, I want to say 5 litres, because it takes 2 fills of the kettle to fill it. Is it a 5 litre storage? I think I'm going to have to measure it when get the jug out and measure how much I use, how much water goes in it when I fill it next time it's cleaned. It's due to get cleaned on Tuesday, so I'll let you know next week. Last Tuesday was flea treatment day, and I need to order more. I mean, they're indoor cats, but they do get outside with me into the garden. And my neighbour's got cats as well, but they're outdoor cats. So I think they do get to touch noses and things. So, you know, not saying hers have got fleas and mine haven't, or vice versa. It's just easier for me to make sure that I treat them every month. More peace of mind for me. So last Tuesday of the month is flea treatment day, unless it's a 5-week month. It's every 4th Tuesday. No, every 4th Tuesday. So go out of the reminders to do it. And it usually is preceded with a round of catch. Only I'm not trying to catch a ball, I'm trying to catch the cat. Preceded with, usually chasing them around the house trying to catch them. Free treatment on. Then I give them a wee drop of dreamies as a reward for being a good boy, for letting me put the treatment on without scratching me to ribbons. I get grilled at for my trouble. And then Charlie goes in the huff, sticks his nose in the corner and refuses to look at me for about the next half hour. Oscar will go and sit on his perch and I feel his eyes glaring at me for about the same length of time. It's they're really grumpy after I do it. But it's worth it for the peace of mind. Because I have had them totally covered in fleas. Because I hadn't noticed that when Oscar came, he had fleas, and I hadn't noticed. And Charlie gets miserable if he's with the fleas. They make him miserable, so, and he gets depressed. And doesn't clean himself or anything, so I thought, right, we'll start doing the flea treatment. So what I'm doing is I'm doing them every month. And just the pipettes on the back of their neck. But I've been looking into getting monthly tablets for them. But They're a wee bit on the dear side. And I've never had to give them tablets before, so I don't know how they would react. They might be quite a wee bit more ferocious. So I don't really have a treat that they like that I could stick it in. Charlie likes cheese, but he won't eat he won't eat like a lump of cheese. He prefers his cheese either grated or like a cheese sauce. But then it's only like a wee drop. He doesn't get a lot because obviously cats are lactose intolerant. He doesn't get a lot, and it's only now and again. He'll get a wee bit as a treat. Charlie likes things like rich tea biscuits and, you know, the biscuit part, the custard cream, he'll eat that. He likes prawn crackers for the Chinese. Oscar just sniffs and walks away. Oscar's favourite crunchy treat, would say, other than his dreamies, is he likes cheese and onion crisps. Whenever I'm eating cheese and onion crisps, he's over wanting one. Yeah, Charlie's back at his dry food now. I can't thread this needle. Why can't I thread this needle? There we go. Instead of trying to thread it through the eye, I was trying to thread it through the side. I couldn't see what I was doing. Oh dear. Bit of a trade-off. Put the reading glasses on so I can actually see what I'm doing on the fabric. But of course, in close-up work, it's really it's. Or I can't see the monitor of my Chromebook because it's quite a bit away. I think I'm going to have to see about maybe getting varifocals or something. 5 down. 1, 2, 3. It's the rain on. Supposed to be getting hit by Storm Aimee tonight and tomorrow. It was heavy rain and a wee bit windy last night, which was supposed to be the precursor to it. And then we're getting the rain now. It's come on rain. I think it's going to gradually get heavier. And then the wind's set to come in this evening. It's going to be right up the west coast of Scotland. I'm on the east coast of Scotland, well, central belt, but I'm on the eastern side of the central belt. I could, Stewart and Stitches is near Livingston, which is kind of diagonally across the river, forth from us and a wee bit further on. Between Edinburgh and Stirling. So that's where he is. Oh, I don't need to put a... Do I want to finish that thread? Oh, I'm going to finish that thread off. We'll unpick that up. Oh. Where did that fluff come from? finish this thread off with the stitch. Trying to think which other floss tubers there is around about here. A couple of people that I follow on Instagram that are in Scotland as well. And there's a couple of my Facebook group there. There's a lady that's in a couple of my Facebook groups that lives up near Inverness. So she's going to be with her warm jacket and her blooming big jacket and her blooming hat on. If she's going out anywhere this week. Didn't just leave the brolly at home because it'll get blown inside it. Last time we got a storm, a really big storm, was January, and I ended up with a power cut for like almost 2 days. Not quite 2 days, because if it went to 2 days, they were going to have to give us compensation. And that was the one in January. I can't remember what it was called. It was quite a strong. That was when we were kind of. Central Belt got pummeled. We right along the Central Belt, because normally if the storms come in, and we'll get. Oh, wait a minute. No, it was two back walk, isn't do them right? Okay, I did that one. Right. It's usually the west coast and the north that get hit bad, because the storms tend to track in up the west coast and then go through the Great Glen, through like Loch Ness up to Inverness, and kind of that sort of area to get it. And we will get it on the periphery, so we get strong winds and the rain. But we tend to get more rain events than wind events, just because of the direction that they track in with the jet stream. But the one in January, it took direct aim at Fife. Fife got pummeled. We did. We got absolutely pummeled. So I think we were in the crosshairs and right up, and then it's kind of tracked right up the east coast of Scotland, and it was just It was so windy, the whole house shook. Yeah. If we get bad weather, it's usually coming from the other direction. If it's coming from the east, like 2010, the winter 2010, when the whole of the UK was under a blanket of snow. I think where I stay, I think we had snow every day, not just a little flurry, every day from about mid-November to mid-March. Right through every day there was at least a smidge of snow, and it lay constantly. It just was not thawing. It would thaw a wee bit and then just refreeze again, and it was cold. It was really, really cold, and that was the wind direction. The direction it was coming straight from Siberia right across, like Norway and like that direction, Scandinavia. And that's when we get it bad, is if it comes that direction, because we're facing onto the North Sea in Fife. If it comes straight off the North Sea, we get it really bad. If it comes sort of like from the west, if the snowstorms are coming from the west, we don't get it as bad where I am in Fife, because I'm quite close to the sea. We're not that high over sea level. We're not like hundreds of feet up in the air and up the hills, but we're not at sea level either. So but we're close enough to the sea that we get that still get that warming effect of the. Because the Firth of Forth is salted, is salty. I think it's salt water right up to what is it called? Not Camasnethan. It's just before, it's past Grangemouth, past Skinflats. I think it's salt water up to Fallon. Or is Fallon's fresh? It sort of changes from salty to fresh between Kincardine and Fallon. And then it's fresh water all the way up. But yeah, so but it's still quite wide here. I can't remember the width it is here, but I mean it's wide enough that we can see, like it's across the water from where I stay is Bo'ness and Grangemouth. Well, Bo'ness kind of diagonally to the left, and then we've got Grangemouth sort of directly across, and then you've got like Skinflats and that, and you've got the salt flats at Kincardine. But it's wide enough that we can see with a decent pair of binoculars. You can see quite good detail at Grangemouth, like at the oil refinery and stuff. With a decent pair of binoculars. I mean, even with the naked eye, you can see quite a lot. I'm not saying that someone could stand on the coast on the other side of the water and I would be able to see them waving. I could with binoculars, but not with the naked eye. So it must be about. I can't remember. I can't think. I don't want to take a guess because I'm not good with distance. Hence the fact I never learned to drive because I've no idea of distance, but like spatial awareness. If there's a door frame, if I'm with your door, you're guaranteed at least once I'll walk through the door frame a day, every day. I bang my shoulder or my arm off a door frame or a door handle. I have no spatial awareness, so I think me learning to drive was I did get lessons, but it freaked me out a wee bit. So I stopped learning because I lost my job and I couldn't afford the lessons. So at 18, I never learned again. Which I kind of regret now because where I'm staying at the moment, I've got one bus into the village. Basically, well, two buses. One goes through the village, goes on to Alloa. Another one kind of goes back to the main town again. It's like 3 buses an hour during the day, one in the evenings, one on Sundays, and if I want to go anywhere, I've got to get that bus before we get another bus anywhere, or get a train. Like to get a train, you've got to walk from the bus station to the train station. So it's not exactly the easiest place in the world, although they are saying about bringing back a railway station to just down the hill, so from where I stay, so hopefully, but they've been talking about that for years. That was supposed to be getting talked about when I lived here before, and then I moved away for about 5 or 6 years to look after my dad. And I came back, and that was getting talked about even then. So, and I've been back here for 5 years. So, I mean, 10, 15 years ago it was getting talked about and it's still getting spoken about. Nothing's happened. I mean, they have to put a passenger train along every so often anyway, or at least a non-goods train. It used to be the coal trains taking the coal into Longannet Power Station before it got shut down and demolished. And there used to be at least a couple of them every day, and they were big long ones. But because there's a route that goes into Stirling that comes from up north, goes from Perth way. But they have to keep this route as viable. It goes into, I think you can actually get into Alloa and then to Stirling on this route, with the trains, and they have to keep it clear so that if anything happens on the main route, they can reroute the trains this way so they can keep the trains running. No, not that one. Your eyes are playing tricks on you, Kay. So yeah, they have to put a train along every so often to keep it as a registered route or something. I can't remember the exact reason for it, but they have to put it along, and then every so often you'll hear a train. You will hear a train going along. I've heard steam train going along it once or twice as well, which is interesting. But it's quite a nice part of the, especially now that Longannet is gone. You've not got that industrial bit at Longannet, and it's sort of like clear open views right across the river. I'm surprised that one of the heritage railways hasn't taken it over, actually. Because it is a lovely view across the river. I used to like walking down there when I had the dog. It's next to the railway line, follow the road along it, followed the part of the road, and yeah, I did like walking down there when I had the dog. It's so quiet. And as I say, the view across the river was beautiful. Now I'm not able to walk as much and I don't have a dog, so I can't get out the same. Kind of miss that. I don't miss the coming back up the brae, coming back up though. I think if I moved the house again, I would need to have someplace that was a nice view. Not just looking at another like houses across the street. It would have to be a nice view. And a wee bit of garden sitting. I'm not necessarily for me to look after. I've got to get the grass cut in this. I've been in the behookie, as my dad would say, pain in the behind. Getting that done. Especially when your gardener lets you down. Tells you they're coming and they don't turn up for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then the autumn weather comes in and the grass is constantly wet, so they can't cut it. Pain in the butt. Because I'm not able to cut it myself because I don't have I can't stand long enough to cut it, so yeah. go without cutting it. I have to get someone else to do it. But it's finding someone that's reliable. I wish I could get a gardener that's as reliable as my window cleaner. Guy that comes to cleans my windows every month, rain or shine. Doesn't matter what weather it is. He'll, if it's raining one day, he'll come the next, and every month without fail. At the beginning of the month or the end of the month now, he'll come and do my windows for me. So I might have to ask him if he knows anyone that's as reliable as him that can do my grass for me. Oh, that's the geese going over. I live on the flight path for must be about 200 geese. Go from there's a lake behind where the village I live in. There's woods at the back, and then there's hills and lakes and a couple of lakes at the back. Or lochs, or, sort of water. Yeah, we'll call them lochs, little lochs. Sort of behind the wood, and like up on the hills behind the woods. There's some lochs up there, and the geese go up there. But twice a day they'll fly to the salt flats. So it depends on the tide, obviously. I have one right underneath them. So every day, at least twice a day, we've got about 200 geese flying. Why have I done that? Excuse me 1 second. I've got myself in the muddle here. Hold on. Right. Why have I gone backwards instead of... Right, hold on. That's what I've done. I've not marked them off. Right, that's that. Right, where am I going now with you? Right. So there must be about 200 of them flying over. And they're very noisy. So from about now till about March, May. No, February, March time. There seems to be more of them than, that's my hour. Just in time. Just got one more stitch to do to complete my block. So I've got 1.5 blocks done, shall we say. Not taking into account all these extra stitches. Oops. I just need to mark you off. That's the rest of them coming. It's time to come in waves. Oh no, that's the ones going in the opposite direction. Why are they going in the opposite direction for the other ones? Anyway, so that's me done. Thank you for spending your hour with me today. I do appreciate it. As I say, pop a comment below, tell me what you were working on. And if you liked the video and you want to keep up with my progress on this project, as well as all the other projects that I have got on the go, click on the like and subscribe button and select all in the drop down on the notification bell so you can get told whenever I upload my new content. There will be an update video going up probably tomorrow, possibly Sunday, which is also going to include my September progress, of like my stats for September, which quite good actually for, you know, compared to maybe to a couple of months before that. It's, yeah. So that'll be tomorrow or Sunday. So as I say, thank you very much for your time today. And I'm going to just say, if you only managed a couple of stitches in an hour, it's not a problem. It's always, you know, less stitches you've got to do at the end of your project, because even one stitch is progress. And treat others as you wish to be treated yourself. You know, smile. Kind gesture costs nothing, but it means the earth. You don't know what that person is going through in their day. They could be having a day from hell, and your smile or kind gesture can make all the difference and get them through that day a bit easier. So thank you for your time today, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.